Today we are at the BFI London Film Festival's headline gala for Conclave.
Rolling.
Conclave is a psychological thriller based on the 2016 novel by Robert Harris.
Never liked him. I think he's incredible. He's a brilliant, brilliant director and a kind man.
And I think he's not only a fantastic director for actors, as you've seen in the film, that he's all this dialogue and his power structure, but also he's like a painter. I remember the first day I worked, it was a long shot and it was just the nuns, and I played one of them, and the cardinal walking, and just the way he choreographed our movement was very telling.
I love Edward. He's a very humane, generous, open, curious man. I think he has a wonderful innate understanding that film can offer great fluidity. I love directors that are free when they're making a film, as opposed to be very precise. This is how it is, this is where you stand. Those directors are great. They can make great films, but the process with Edward felt very creative.
Well, it's a movie that takes us behind the closed doors of the Vatican. It's a thriller. It has many twists and turns. Every minute, I hope you will be surprised, and it's a thrilling ride. But also, it's a wonderful interior journey of doubt that Ralph Fiennes goes through, and he takes us on this journey. It's a wonderful development, and I think a lot of people may be able to identify with that journey.
Well, I mean, the film has a lot of topics in itself, and the music obviously is, as I see film music, it should support the film in a way that you don't. That it uplifts the film and not covers the film with, let's say, sound. So what I think was very nice is, and working with Edward, it's always nice that he makes space for musical pieces.
The Pope is dead. The throne is vacant.
The conclave begins now.
I just want to make a different film from the last one. Last one took me into the freezing cold in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and this time I went to wonderful Rome with wonderful dinners and a wonderful cast inside the Vatican, and it felt like important to just, create a new challenge for ourselves to, you always want to be afraid that that you fail, and that you try to overcome that fear of failure, and so that's important, I think, in every movie I think.
I think they're in store for a really sophisticated movie that is completely accessible and that is emotionally and intellectually moving.
A bit like All the President's Men, sort of scenes of, I need information from you, what's going on. So there are intelligently written scenes of confrontation, or scenes involving suspicion, or scenes where people are trying to learn things about other people.
In this film, we needed music that was creating tension. I needed music that creates the religious space in the Vatican, that somehow also stands for, let's say, human values, which are, in that film, are also playing a very important role. So to find something that is touching your heart in a way, and carrying you through your thoughts while you're watching the movie, and you're like, yeah, maybe that's something that I experience as well. And at the same time, you need tension music that moves the music, forward.
The kind of scene I think is fun to watch is not the sort of scene I'm talking about. It's simply the first scene that shows the audience the voting ritual. So the audience sees the men are locked in, and the ritual begins, and the decision to cast the vote, and the eye contact across the aisle about who's voted for who, and the suspense of the first vote, and where the ballot goes, and all that stuff I think is fantastically done.
It's not a war.
It is a war, and you have to commit to a side.
Why did the Holy Father, in his last official act as Pope, choose me to run this conclave?